My name is Pegleg Sullivan, and I'm going to tell you the story about the Great Chicago Fire. So I was just walking from a neighboring house of the Leary's barn until I saw a strange orange light emitting from the barn. Going closer to discover it was on fire! 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 I was yelling, I was scared. I had no idea what to do. No one was getting out of their houses. I looked in the barn to discover there were terrified animals just straining to get loose. I went up to them, 5 cows, and I only untied 2 of them, but they didn't move at all. Then I saw a horse and a calf against the wall, and they were definitely trying to get loose. So I went up to them and untied the calf. I was trying to go get to the exit, but I didn't know where it was, so I just randomly went to the barn door where I thought it was. I went towards it, but it turned out my peg leg, my wooden leg, it got stuck between 2 loose floorboards. I fell down, I couldn't get up, and well, there was no use. I had to take off my peg leg and start hopping. So I was hopping to where I thought the exit was, and the calf bumped into me. And I managed to grab his neck. I held on to him, and we fell off the barn. We found the exit. We got out, and I yelled, "Fire, fire!" again. This time the neighbors were all rushing out with buckets of water. They were pouring the water on the barn, and the calf went to this family holding an old-looking bundle, and just followed the place that wasn't on fire. I was kind of glad. And this person offered me an empty bucket of water. So I quickly went to the Chicago River, which was like a few blocks away. I filled up the bucket, and I went back really quick. But even though it was fast, the fire was spreading to other houses. There was no time. I poured the water on one part of the house, and the water didn't do anything. And instead of putting out the fire, everyone else was just running. They ran. They were running away from the fire. I had no choice but to follow them. So once I was following them, I discovered that all the buildings were on fire. Wind was just helping the fire spread a lot better. I didn't know what to do. I was scared, I was frightened. I kept hopping and hopping until I found this tree branch on the floor. I realized that I can use a tree branch as a walking stick, like this one. So I used it, and I was walking, and we were all good. Well, I wasn't really walking, I was more like hopping. So, once I was going, I saw steam pumpers. The steam pumpers were racing not towards the fire, but away from it. I'm like, the firemen are going the wrong way! They're going the wrong way! No one listened, but people just kept running. I heard dogs barking. Everyone was terrified. I was realizing, why were the steam pumpers going the wrong way? They must have been called to go somewhere else. Why though? I was scared, just following the crowd. And then, after thinking about all of that stuff, I noticed that we were crossing the bridge of over the Chicago River. We were saved. The fire wouldn't get past the river. I was so happy. Everyone started cheering when we got past the river. But then something terrifying happened. The river caught on fire. Parts of water caught on fire. I knew everyone else noticed because they stopped cheering, and they all broke into a run. They just kept running, sprinting. I was rushing, but since I have no peg leg and I only had a walking stick, it was hard for me to run. I had to keep going and going. And then there's something even worse happened. The wind, it started to get hotter, faster. It started blowing against my back. My back was burning. And then all of a sudden, the fire started stampeding or something, like a wave of fire. Then I had to even hop even faster. I was tired, but I had to keep going. Everyone was running. Dogs were barking again. I didn't know what to do. I was just terrified. That day was so scary. I saw people falling, tripping. Everyone was crying. Then it was like a miracle happened. I felt the wind again, but instead of blowing against my back, it was blowing another direction, away from the crowd. Later on, we kept running, but we hit a forest. And at that time, when we hit the forest, the wind was blowing the other way. There was no chance that the fire could get us. So I was there. I was just thinking about what just happened. I was scared. I laid down on the ground, put the stick aside. I didn't know what to do. Later on, I just fell asleep. Can't really remember what happened then, but I'm pretty sure people blamed me for causing the fire, and yeah, that's all I remember. Well, that's all I remember from the Chicago fire. Hope you learned a lot about me. Now I've got to go and tell more stories.